I tag from my personal page, like tag a page from my page.
I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
Well, I mean that's kind of what I'm doing.
I'm here.
I wonder if it'll automatically. This is gonna be a good one.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm thinking. What do you think?
Probably good.
Post, come back strong. Prost. Dang. Well.
How do you sound in your headphones?
I sound pretty good. I think.
Right.
Of course, I've heard I had an annoying voice before. So.
Well, that's true, but it's... I swear to God, I'm going to kill the next son of a bitch that unplugs a set of headphones out of here. Don't you try me either, because I'll fucking shoot you in the face.
What happened?
So people keep unplugging headphones in here, I guess to plug up their own or whatever. I don't give two shits.
They don't unplug from here. That's why I was
Check, 1, 2. I sound okay, I guess.
Do you sound okay? Actually, turn me up. I don't know that I'm loud enough.
I hear your volume yourself? Or
Like, I can't hear myself enough.
sound good to me. Am I too loud?
No, but I'm not as loud as you.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. How about that?
Hello, yeah, that's better.
All right, let's do clap test.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Actually, turn me up. I don't know that I'm loud enough. I can't hear myself enough. Oh, shit.
Am I too loud?
No, I'm not as loud as you. Oh, no.
I forgot that I was hooked up to the TV.
Hello, yeah, that's better. Yes, he does need some anger management, doesn't he, Scott? Believe this guy?
We might alternate Saturdays and Sundays, Joe Galindo.
I just said no. Saturdays are the day. We just suck sometimes.
Oh, I was going to say, if we end up sucking, we might alternate. I mean,
That's
what it is.
we do suck, so.
Rouse the troops. Post some links. I got to get some shit going over here.
Yeah. So, hey, Scott Seegers, what do you think of Hollow Earth? You can let me know in 30 seconds when you hear this. Damn delay.
Damn delay.
Dumb delay. Mm-hmm. Everett's gone. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. Hollow Earth. I just don't know. You think it's hollow? I mean, think of all the extra unused space. If it is hollow, I mean, we could do some shit with that inner area in there. You know what I mean? I bet they got good vegetation and soil back. You know, like I bet you grow good fucking plants and vegetables down there. Cucumbers and shit. Well, I think it's a conspiracy against me. Y'all seem to do your live shows when I have to work.
Could be.
No conspiracy there, Joe. Not against you, my man. Yeah, I mean, there'd be so much more room for activities if it was hollow. Personally, if it's like better down there, that's where I want to go. They say it's a lush 75 degrees year round.
Where's Alex? That's a good question.
I'm not sure. I think he's at work right now, honestly. Shane Selleck. He had the issue getting in the group, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's in there though now, right?
Yeah.
Good deal.
Not getting in there for a while. He had something fucked up with his Facebook was working. He got trouble with Facebook. He had to set his ID in.
Facebook's weird now because you can't share people's statuses anymore. Did you know that? You can share, if they post a link or a video or something, you can share that. But if they just type words on that shit, you can't share that anymore. It's weird.
Horseshit.
Well, I'm not saying it's horseshit. You used to be able to. You can't now.
Like you're saying it's horseshit.
I'm not saying it's horseshit.
Cut a little more off here. I'm trying to get this chat set up.
All right, Joe. Don't work too hard, buddy. Sorry you had to work. But if you don't go to work, you won't be able to pay your bills, and I know what that's like. It fucking sucks. You have to go to work. What are you still doing here, Joe? It's always better down there. Yeah, it is. You ain't kidding. I bet people in the inner earth aren't assholes either, you know, Everett?
You saying I'm an asshole?
No, well...
I'll kill you!
You take it how you want it, but I'm saying, like, I bet the people on the inner earth are nice.
You don't know that.
What are you doing over there?
You know what I'm doing.
No, actually, I don't. What, are you playing a game?
No, I'm trying to arrow up here.
We're live on air. What are you doing?
I had to get the chat set up, dude. Don't
Oh.
give me shit.
Oh, you putting chat up now?
Face.
Yes, it was an issue with Facebook. Mm-hmm. There's always an issue with Facebook. Fucking Facebook and reading our fucking messages and listening in on our goddamn conversations, and fuck Mark Zuckerberg, you know? Because I feel like he's just too into my business.
You all right?
Yeah. I'm good. Yeah, of course I'm fine. I'm just saying. Oh, that's an excellent idea. He says, are we going to make shirts that say balls deep on them?
Yeah.
He said, Everett says, no, we will not be having balls deep shirts. Yes, we will.
No.
I'm ready to go balls deep in this one. Let's get it.
Where's this clipping?
What are you doing over there, bud? Uh-oh. What's going on? What are you doing? I'm hearing funny things in here.
Does it still sound funny?
No, it sounds fine now.
I gotta try out and make sure sound works. We'll be ready to go.
Gotta make sure the sound works, huh? You're gonna be plugging in the,
I did.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it?
Hear what? There. I hear it now.
Is that too loud?
That's good. I mean, I'd cut it off now, though, but...
You're listening.
Red Roof Racing.
Surreal
Eric's
Talk.
mic sounds like shit. Really? Fuck. Red Roof Racing says my mic sounds like shit.
I'm gonna go find out what that's all about.
Well, that ain't no good. Yeah.
Hear it?
Hear what? There. I hear it now.
Is that too loud?
That's good. I mean, I'd cut it off.
Your shit's fuzzy, dude.
It does sound fuzzy.
Yeah. Maybe turn you up.
Is that what it is? I'm up too loud? All right, we're fixing it now. Is that better? Better? There you go. That's not as loud, so. Y'all tell me when that's better, I think. I think that's better. Eric's mic sounds like shit. Lordy. Yeah, man. So, I mean, fucking Hollow Earth, you know? He's gone again, that Seth Rogen look. Well, he is. We're thinking about getting shirts that said, come talk with us, the Seth and Steve show. Just when I'm real close to it like this. Like that. Okay, so if I keep my mouth off it, I'm okay.
That sounds pretty good, I think. It sounds better to me.
Yes, Shane, I have seen that video. I actually seen another video that said that he was David Rockefeller's grandson and that they started Facebook as a part of like like a way to monitor people, you know what I mean? And like you just said, it's working better than they could have ever imagined. So yeah, there's a couple different theories on Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay, I got you head to the head.
How hollow are we talking?
Seth Rogen. Fuck you, Scott.
Rogaine. Yes. Oh, it's fucking great. How hollow are we talking? Oh, we're talking B Hazard. We're talking way more hollow than just some unexplored caves. A real hollow, like fucking. There's another civilization down there. So tune in because this should be a good one. I mean, if you're into that shit. Rogaine. It's so good. Probably laughed a lot more than I should have at that, but that's very fucking funny. Oh, man. B Hazard, Red Roof Racing, Scott Albanese, Hollow Motherfucking Earth, for sure. Welcome to Earth. Wonder what Will Smith thinks about the hollow Earth. Wonder if he's like, you know, if he's convinced it's hollow. This is very true. Yes, Scott Albany, Admiral Byrd hollow. Yes, we will be talking about that crazy fucker. If you ever seen that interview of him, he's on some old black and white. Son of a bitch, I gotta mute my phone. He's on some old black and white. Wait, shit, it's Everett. You have my keys. They're on the table. Shit. Hey, come let me. He locked himself out. That's fucking awesome. I'll be right back. I gotta let Everett in. He locked himself out. I'm just gonna text him and tell him to stay outside. I'm doing the show by myself. It's just dead air time.
Yeah. Did you explain what the problem was?
Yeah, I told them.
Sure.
It was a CBS interview. Is that what it was? It was all black and white. It was a pretty good interview.
Cut that stuff out real quick. Crop left. 60.
We ready, Ev? Yeah, Everett's. We had some technical difficulties, but we're better now. Everett locked himself out. I had to rescue him.
We're better now. How are you?
They're ready to go.
You know what I'm talking about from Star Wars, Han Solo?
Oh yeah.
We're good. Everything's good.
All good here.
Malfunction.
Yeah, all good here.
How are you?
Shut down all the garbage compactors on the detention level.
Shut down all the garbage compactors on detention level.
R2.
3PO.
Did you see how they're tying in season 4 of Rebels with Rogue One?
No.
Some Saw Gerrera shit, and then that other guy. What's his name?
Check one. Ooh, I sound a little hot. A little hot tamale.
Mm-hmm.
You're a little hot too.
Am I?
Let's see. Checkity check. Okay. Okay.
All right. Everybody's ready. I'm sure of it.
No, I'm not.
You're not ready? Everybody but Everett is ready. Everybody already?
We are ready.
We're all going to laugh at you.
I already do.
I was trying to talk to this young kid at work about the Carrie movie. And I was like, you know, the movie Carrie? And he's like, no, what's it about?
Oh, my God.
And I was like, you know, the chick, the pig's blood, gets dumped on her at prom. She's got fucking crazy abilities. And he's like, no. What's it? I mean, he's like, you know, knew literally nothing about the movie Carrie. I'm like John Travolta with this Ric Flair black hair. It was just Ric
Is
Flair
Ric Flair-
styled. It
is
was
Ric
Ric Flair
Flair hair?
styled, but it was black. Yeah.
That's funny.
You know. Well, who was the chick that played the asshole chick?
She wasn't like really.
She wasn't a popular one. Yeah, she was a bitch. My.
Okay. There's my beautiful mug. Okay, man.
Okay, man. Start it.
Hold on.
You know.
Don't.
Can you let me know, man?
Don't even push me, man.
Oh, hey, you know what you need to do? You need to print up the outlines.
Good call. I'll print it. You go grab it from the printer.
I guess so.
Copies 2. Let's go into that one right over here. It's 10 fucking pages. Because it's 2 copies. All right.
Some people's kids, man.
Don't make fun of me.
Which porn are they talking about? Terp, blocked out. Porn?
I don't have a clue, man. I wasn't talking about no porn.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Me either.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not done printing yet.
Slow printer.
No ticket. It says looking for the printer. That's weird. I want to print it to the other one.
There's one down here in the closet.
Yeah, hold on a moment.
These telescoping?
Are you?
Or do these, like, go out? I guess that's about it right there, huh?
Oh, it's going to the one down the hall.
In the closet?
Yeah. Okay, terminate. While he's gone, I should tell you that I'm planning to kill him. Just saying. He might not be back next week. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. Man, it is hot in here. I'm sweating like a pig. We're going live here in just about 1 minute, folks. Uno momento, por favor. Okay. Yeah, Scott, I do need some help. I get it. That's funny, Scott. What's taking so long, man? That printer ain't but 40, 50 foot down the hall. Yeah, Scott, I'm not taking off anything. That's Eric's gig. Hold on. I gotta find out where he's at. He's probably dead. What's going on? Still? Oh, okay. What's it he say? He says, some people's kids. As soon as he gets back, we'll pretty much be good. Man, 20 minutes? We've been live 20 minutes and ain't gone live. I'm sorry. It's Eric's fault.
What's that?
Ty, we just got a different way to go about talking about it again. I don't know if we got anything different. Should be a little bit longer of a discussion, I think.
Oh, we got different.
We got some different. I know you were listening to the show. We re-listened to it again today, too, most of it. He was not abducted, Renee. He's back, obviously, as you can see that. Our stream health isn't quite healthy. It's weird.
Really?
Streamers, is the stream coming okay? Real quick, I'm not going to start until you guys say the stream's good or not.
Stream's good, Everett. I don't know.
I'm going to text message.
Let's do this. By the way, the show has been moved to Sunday and again, apparently. Wait, what?
Scott says we moved the show. I didn't hear about it. I guess we're doing this tomorrow.
Nobody told me. We're here early.
Yep, no problems here. Okay, all right.
Let's
You ready?
do this. Roll it.
Bean footage and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, get some volume going here. Flip over, rewind, play.
Volume, not volume.
Hey, remember after this is done, give the requisite amount of time, since we blew up the board again as soon as we got it back.
You're listening to Surreal Talk.
It wasn't
a
me.
look inside
It was
the
the
world of
one-armed
cults,
man.
conspiracies, and the paranormal.
I don't care.
Something's not right, man. Something's not right. Something's bullshit here, and I don't believe it.
Honestly, this crazy shit could be completely possible.
Is that right? Disclaimer, we reserve the right to be wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That's so important. You think you know the whole story? Think again.
Oh, I got something to even
Now
say
your
about
hosts,
that. Anyway.
Eric and Everett.
Yes. I do have something to say about the green kids. Green Kenny. Welcome to Surreal Talk, a look inside the world of cults, conspiracies, and the paranormal, a lineupmedia.fm production. And we are back again on our regular day, Saturday.
Our semi-regular day.
Yeah. Anyways, this should be a good one. We're doing a redux this week. We decided...
Redo-do, if you will.
A redo-do.
It's another one of our famous, did we get it right the first time shows?
Which we didn't.
I don't know that we did or didn't, but it was one of our first shows. It was over a year ago.
This is true.
And our styles and our way of thinking about this type of stuff in both of us is vastly different than it was a year ago.
Yeah, Everett's not so well, maybe he is gung-ho still, but...
Well, let me say this. I come into shit with a much more open mind. I would say less hostile.
Hostile, there you go. Less hostile.
I still
for
get hostile,
sure.
don't get me wrong.
Less
Less
hostile.
hostile.
Yeah,
At least
you're
mostly
not hostile. You're just less hostile.
It's changed. I'm less hostile with the topics and more hostile with you. Apparently.
Right. Less hostile with the topics, more on me, fucker.
So, what did we get wrong last time? You say we got some shit wrong. Anything specific, or you just want to get right into it? And not shit
There was,
ourselves?
as I re-listened to it, I noticed I'd got a date wrong on one of Admiral Byrd's missions. It was...
Admiral Byrd brain.
Yeah, Admiral Byrd brain. Big Bird. Admiral Big Bird.
Admiral Big Bird.
I got one of the dates wrong on it, and I can't. It was around 9 minutes in, I guess, maybe 8 minutes in when we heard that.
It's irrelevant.
Anyway, yeah, right. It was. I said 46, and I think it was 47. So either way.
I guess we should start off talking about what science thinks is the structure.
Well, we're talking about the Hollow Earth today.
Oh, good point. I guess that's we should.
Yeah, we should let them know kind of what the show's going to be about.
Yeah, I'm sure they've looked at their phone or their podcast player and seen that we're talking about Hollow Earth. But here we go again.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Hollow Earth.
Yeah.
We said already the subject we covered a year ago.
Yeah.
So we're covering.
Well, I mean, we covered Flat Earth a year ago.
We kind of recovered that in the all over the place recently.
Yeah, I guess we did. Anyways, Hollow
That
Earth.
was a pretty good episode, I thought.
Here's Hollow.
No, you're done.
Oh, is that it?
That's not it.
Oh, okay.
So science says
got more?
the crust is made up of like the planet is made up of 4 layers.
Yes.
So we live on the crust, which could be anywhere from a few miles thick, depending where, to several kilometers, 30, 40 kilometers, 30 miles, not kilometers. It could be miles or kilometers. It varies. Out in the ocean, you can get to points where there's exposed mantle. If you go down deep enough, you can find exposed mantle.
Really?
Yep. The mantle is the second layer of the planet. It's almost 3,000 kilometers, whatever that works out to, 1,700, 1,800 miles thick.
Right.
It is dense. It's semi-solid rock.
Now, hang on. Explain semi-solid rock to me.
Like lava, but under such pressure that lava is...
But it's hot.
It's very hot.
Okay, yeah, that's what I need to know. So
the further you get down, the more pressure there is, the more heat there is.
That's a funny semi-solid rock. That's just a little weird. Go continue. Sorry, semi-solid.
No, you're
rock.
not wrong. I mean, What do you call lava? It's a liquid rock.
I call lava
Magma.
magma.
Anyway,
Liquid
mantle.
hot magma.
It's where most of the internal heat of the Earth is located. It's kind of like a big thermal battery that's caught most of the core's heat, and due to its size, it's pretty much the
Well, because that's the meat of the
thermal
planet.
mass of the planet.
The mantle
right?
is like the meat, of our planet. It's huge.
Below the mantle is the core. It makes up nearly a third of the mass of the Earth. We think it's made of mostly nickel and iron. It has two parts. It's got the outer core, which is about 2,200 kilometers thick, and a solid inner core, they think, of solid iron that's about 1,250 kilometers thick. So
Why would the
700
center
miles.
be solid iron, but there be liquid on the outside of it?
Gravity, I guess, the way the planet formed.
That can do differences in temperatures enough to make to melt steel?
So your thought of
iron
what
anyway?
solid is at that temperature is different. Just because something's really hot doesn't mean it has to melt if there's so much pressure on it.
Okay.
So there's planets they found out in the solar system that are like oceanic planets, where the entire planet,
Camino?
kind of like Camino. But if it's deep enough, the water at the very deep of it has so much water and so much pressure down on
It's
it.
like Jell-O.
Even more, it gets so much pressure, it turns into like a crystallized lattice to where it's more or less solid water. Not ice, but solid water.
You could eat water.
Well, you couldn't pick it up at that point.
Well, right. Yeah, it'd be too heavy. That's fair enough.
So like I said, the inner core is made of iron. It's very dense. As the Earth rotates, the outer core spins around, and that's what creates our magnetic field, supposedly. So says science.
So the outer core spinning around the inner core.
Right. That's about it for the exterior for the makeup of the planet by science. It's not that hard to figure out. There's been millions of movies on the makeup of the planet.
The Core was an excellent movie.
We talk about that movie
Gosh, that
all
was
the
a good
time.
movie.
Aaron Eckhart, goddamn great in that movie.
What's her name? The $1 Million Baby.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah, the
The
boxing.
guy that played Braz, Edward Brazelton or whatever.
Oh
It was
yeah,
great.
Braz. He was a good actor too. What about the smart ass dude?
Rat or the other guy?
No, Rat's DJ Squalls.
The pen chewer.
Yeah, that
Here we
fucking
are.
guy. Everybody
Deep
hates him.
yeah.
The asshole.
Yeah, I liked him though. He was in Hunger Games. Anyway, so
Do you reckon Shane makes a great point here? Do you reckon that they just put a bunch of jet fuel down there into the outer core just to melt that steel?
Oh god, a jet fuel can't melt steel joke.
I thought it was funny. He made it, but I had to convey it.
So,
Anyways, go ahead.
as far as hollow Earth theories go, they all have a bunch of commonalities. Well,
Yes.
not all of them are exactly the same, but there's some commonalities through many of them.
Well, first, there is more hollow Earth theories
There's a lot
than
of
you
them.
guys could imagine. Well, I mean, you're watching a conspiracy show. I'm sure you know. There are so many fucking
Probably more
hollow
than
Earth
us.
theories. Yeah, right. There's so many different hollow Earth theories. I would think it'd be vain to think we would touch on every single one that there is, and that's probably not going to happen. But ever saying, like he said, there's a lot of similarities between all of them. Like when you look at them in a whole, there's certain things that are the same about every hollow Earth theory.
Right.
And those
so
are
one of them is like a central sun. There's a free-floating sun right in the center of our planet.
yeah, that's what they say.
Basically saying that the exterior of our planet forms a Dyson sphere, so to speak, around the star.
Okay, yeah, collecting all the energy. Gosh, that's a weird way to look at it. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, definition.
I don't even know about having a sun in the middle of the Earth because, like,
Dude, it's crazy. With gravity, it doesn't make sense. It should suck the rest of the planet in.
implosions, eh?
Well, not implosions. Think about something that's really close to a high center of gravity. Like anything close, it's getting sucked in. That's
Yeah.
the way it works. That's how planets are round. Whenever there's enough debris that starts collecting in space and getting together, it coalesces into a big rocky body, and the pressure's forming into one solid body. And then they get bigger and bigger, turn into asteroids. And you have like Phobos, Mars's moon, which is more or less just a giant potato-shaped asteroid. It's a couple, 100, 200 miles long. I don't know exactly what it is. But once they get to a certain level, gravity itself pulls them circular. You can't have like an irregular asteroid above like 500 miles wide because gravity itself is so strong at that point.
It pulls
it together.
Right. That's the whole basis for not believing in a flat Earth.
Right. Gravity. Yeah, exactly. Gravity is not a thing. That's the flat earthers. So this hypothesis has long been contradicted by overwhelming observational evidence, as well as the modern understanding of the formation of planets, like I was just saying. This theory has been just shit on by the scientific community since the late 18th century. So one of the modern guys to talk about the flat Earth is John Cleves Sims Jr. He was from Ohio. You hear about this guy?
I have heard of him.
So he actually has his
Well,
own,
he's the one that they named the
memorial.
No, the entrances.
Oh yeah, the Sims Hole.
The Sims holes. Yeah, those are the entrances.
Right. There's actually a memorial to him in Ludlow Park in Hamilton, Ohio. It's called Sims Monument. Anyway, in 1818, the guy sends out a circular, like a pamphlet, more or less. I looked at it. It's wrought with spelling errors. It's bad. And along with it, he sends a copy of a certificate of his sanity. So you believe me, I'm not crazy. He sends out 500 copies of this.
Wait a minute. So he's going to try to sway you to his team.
Yeah, well, what he's doing,
this crazy theory.
He sends out this circular. He's looking for a team of 100 people to go on an expedition to the North Pole. They're going to go by reindeer and sleighs, and he spells sleighs S-L-A-Y-S, like sleighs, like I'm going to kill you.
Oh, not E-I-G-H-S at all?
No. So he sends out 500 copies of this, asking for 100 people to the residents of Wilmington, Delaware. Sends it out to scientists, to universities, to other dignitaries. And he's basically just trying to get a whole group of people to go with him. This never happens. It's been said that he wrote that his belief came organically, and he didn't borrow it from Haley's theory, which we'll get to Haley's thoughts on the
Haley's hollow earth theories are way weird.
Yeah, he was trying to come up with an answer to some weird magnetism, like in his compass.
Yeah, anomalous
and then he
compass
comes with
readings.
an entire, I'm going to retell you how the Earth's made.
Yeah, so look, my compass is pointing off just a little bit.
It's his
so that
cosmological
means,
constant. You know what I mean? It's like Einstein said, yeah, I'm just going to make up this number that's a constant and it fixes everything. Anyway, in his circular, he tries to associate himself with some prominent and respected scientists.
They distance themselves from him.
Right, like Humphrey Davy, he was a chemist in Britain. Alexander von Humboldt, he was a Prussian explorer and geographer. S.L. Mitchell, who was the founder of the Lyceum of Natural History in New York. None of them did anything. They didn't help him out. All attempts to solicit intellectual patronage were in vain, and Sims Hole, as it was called, became the laughingstock of the scientific community.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Can you imagine trying to push your agenda so hard and trying to, like you really feel this is the truth, and then you become the laughing stock
There was a
of the
movie
scientific
recently
community.
about a guy who, I forget what it was. He was going around giving lectures on shit. Oh, wasn't it the core? At the beginning, he's giving lectures about how that shit works, and then the government comes in. Anyway, so John Quincy Adams' administration.
I don't think so. He was second president.
No, he was the sixth president.
Sixth, yeah.
John Adams, his father was the
That's
second.
right.
Anyway, his administration nearly says yes to it, but he lost his 1828 re-election bid, and the fucking Andrew
They were going to
Jackson.
fund him?
They nearly said yes.
Wow.
If he had got his second.
And he wanted full expedition to the Hollow Earth, huh?
Well, he was wanting 100 people, and the JQA admin was like, "Hey, maybe we'll fund it." Huh. But no, Andrew Jackson gets elected seventh president, and it just
Put the kibosh on all that, didn't he?
So, undeterred, Sims still continues to travel and lecture about the idea until his death in 1829, the year after Adams loses his re-election bid. Anyway, he's traveling around the country trying to get people to help him. Meanwhile, his wife and 10 children, to whom he dedicated the circuit.
10 children?
Yep. They lived an impoverished existence in Kentucky. Poor, desolate.
Dirt poor.
Yep. He never raised the money or the companions to visit the poles himself, but he did convert Jeremiah Reynolds, whose voyage to the South Pole in 1829 inspired Edgar Allan Poe to write a novel, his only novel, the narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket. That's my research. I've never read the book. I don't know what the contents of that book is.
Now, let's talk about somebody that everybody knows.
Who?
Well, I always thought his name was Haley. But
Sir
in
Edmund?
fact, it's Hallie. I thought Haley's
Comet.
I always thought it was Haley, yeah. So it's Hallie, though.
Sir to you, Sir Edmund.
Oh, he's a sir.
He is a sir.
He was knighted. I did not know that.
I believe so. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he was the one that, I want to say one of the first
Well, in 1692,
perpetuators of this.
he puts out the fourth, consisting of the Earth is a hollow shell about 500 miles thick with two inner concentric shells and an innermost core. So that's weird. He's saying we got several layers, like there's people on the first one. Well, maybe not people, but saying, geologically rather, there's different surfaces on the inner of the Earth on different levels.
He's also saying that atmospheres separate each one of these levels.
Right,
and
that's
that
what I'm saying. They're habitable more or less with atmosphere.
Yeah, they have their own magnetic poles at each different level. Kind of weird. And he says they're all spinning.
Yeah, think of it like...
They rotate at different speeds. 13 ghosts.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly.
13 ghosts.
That
The
weird
thing at the end.
Yeah, it's all spinning around concentrically.
Yeah.
There's a name for that type of device. I don't know what it is.
Ocularis Infernum.
Whoa, bro, way to go.
Is
Is that the one in there? Okay. I mean the actual sign.
I fucking surprised the shit out of you. You thought I knew something, didn't you?
Well, I should have known it was off Infernum. Fire, hell yeah, I should have known.
Oculus,
Eyes, right.
Eye of hell. Anyways, you didn't know I knew Latin, did you?
I did not. It surprised the shit out of me, man. Way to go. Let's see. The spheres rotate at different speeds. He proposes this scheme, like we said before, to explain anomalous compass readings. Like he didn't get why the compass behaved certain ways that it did. He didn't understand that the eddies of the actual interior of the Earth, the way the iron moves, it's going to fuck with you and create weirdness in the magnetic field of the Earth. It's just going to happen. But so he comes up with this weird, different spinning layers of the Earth to kind of explain these weird magnetic, abnormalities.
Abnormalities, yeah.
Anomalies, if you will.
Which one was it? I don't remember if it was Halley or if it was Sims that said that the reason that they wanted to do it is because they could track seismic activity all the way across the top of the world, like through the North Pole, and then once it reached the North Pole, it died down and just completely stopped. And
so there's some sort of...
But then once you got past it, like it rang past that hole, but right there in that spot was void of seismic activity. Even when there'd be like an earthquake or any seismic activity, it would just...
That's weird because seismic activity doesn't like travel in a straight line.
That's what they...
And it travels through the Earth, not on the surface of the Earth.
Right. Well, if there's no Earth there, it can't travel through the Earth if it's hollow.
Well,
so it's going across the surface.
Okay, think about this.
And then missing that void.
This cup here is the Earth, if you will.
Yeah.
You have an earthquake over here, right? It's not just going to go across the surface of the Earth and you pick it up in your seismograph. It's going to go.
It will go across the surface of the Earth if it's hollow. If there's nothing inside of it, it will go across the surface.
It doesn't work that way.
If it's hollow, it does.
Well, I guess it would if it were, but it ain't, so it don't.
How do you know?
I've dug pretty deep in the backyard.
Yeah, you been to the North Pole?
Not recently.
South Pole?
Never.
Okay.
Well, yeah, okay. I guess I got your point. I've never seen the shit with my own eyes.
Right.
There I go being a little bit close-minded again, like the first time.
Yeah, it's not fucking hollow.
So
we're talking about hollow Earth, but it's not fucking hollow.
Calm down. Calm down. What do you know about Alexander St. Ives?
That's Alexander St. Ives. That was the...
He was the guy that published the first reliable account of the landmass of Agartha.
Yeah, that was the guy that we thought wrote the book but didn't write the book.
That was the guy that we thought wrote the book.
Okay, yeah. According to him, the secret world of Agartha and all of its wisdom and wealth will be accessible for all of mankind when Christianity lives up to the commandments that were once drafted by Moses and God.
Good call.
Yeah, so meaning that when anarchy exists in our... Or when anarchy...
When the
ceased,
anarchy...
No, well, just... When anarchy ceased to exist in our world and it's replaced by synarchy, St. Ives gives a lively description of Agartha in his book as if it were a place that really exists, situated in the Himalayas in Tibet. St. Ives' version of history of Agartha is based upon revealed information, meaning received by St. Ives himself through attunement. So this guy meditated this
It just
knowledge.
came to him in a...
Right.
He had a spell.
Yeah, he meditated this knowledge.
He was hanging in the toilet. He slipped, hit his head on the sink, and the idea of the Agartha came to him, just like the flux capacitor did. No, you don't. Are you even in there?
Yeah, of course I'm in there.
You didn't hear my good joke I just made?
Yeah, the flux capacitor joke. I didn't really like it.
It's shut up. Okay, in the 10th century, there was a guy named Ibn Hakwal. He was a Muslim writer, cartographer, geographer, and he created he made a map of the world, himself. It's available online. You could find it where it shows an entry to the Hollow Earth and actually speaks of the denizens of the Hollow Earth, like the peoples that are in there.
Yeah.
So all the way back 10th century.
10th
the year
century.
900s.
So we thought Halley was one of the originals, but this guy here was
throughout. It even goes back further. Plato himself spoke of the mythical world with some very long and narrow tunnels that connect the four corners of the earth. And he said, where they connect, Agartha stands and a magical ruler holds the throne.
Magical ruler.
That's Plato. I mean, that's ancient Greek.
Yeah, that's crazy shit, man. I'm just not into that.
Why not?
Because I don't feel like Plato's very reliable. Him, Aristotle, all those people. That was a joke, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah, so the inner Earth's a really weird thing, man. Like, there's a sun in there, really?
Well,
Our sun, a star. Okay, yeah, I shouldn't say a sun. You're right.
Well, how hard is that to believe? A white dwarf star or a neutron star can be 10 miles across.
Right.
And have more mass than our entire sun. So it doesn't physically. The space is there, in my opinion, for a star to exist. But to have something so massively dense that it is lit up with fusion and is providing power just like a star does.
Yeah, that's the thing, because you're having a nuclear reaction.
But that isn't even the part that bothers me either. It's still the gravity. It's still going to suck in this shell.
You want to ask Sean? Because Sean thinks light affects gravity. We should just maybe call him up and get his opinion.
I'm done with his opinions.
Okay, so what about the people inside of the Hollow Earth?
Well, you tell me. This is more your era.
There's a lot of different, I guess. There's like 120 different underground cities, allegedly, in the Hollow Earth. And the citizens of those cities are like supposed to be ancestors of like...
Dude, there's so many different types. So
there's like Hyperborea, Atlantis, Lemuria, and even...
Those are the original places that people came from, right?
Yeah, that's what the original places that...
Hyperborea was a place where giants dwelled.
Yeah.
Atlantis and Lemuria, we've talked about that in our Strange Places.
Yeah.
Those are just...
what was the other name for that? Mu? Or Lu? Was it Mu?
Lemuria or Mu.
Right, that was cool.
It's weird that I know that. Again, some weird shit has come into my brain in the last year.
It sure has, huh? But there's also supposedly crazy animals that we haven't seen in existence for tens of thousands of years.
Well, any version of like Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth and whatnot, you'll find
Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost. There's like the Slee Stack from fucking Land of the Lost. Have you ever seen the movie or the show?
I saw the Will Ferrell movie.
It was pretty funny. It was close
good.
enough.
It wasn't bad.
Have you ever heard, when you posted it on the group, I guess you have the Tenacious D version of the theme song. I love it. Tenacious D. Anyway, there's also supposedly probably aliens in there. I've heard tale of the Greys, like your Thetas.
Yeah.
There's different types of reptilians that are described down there. Like a version of the Anunnaki has been described in Hollow Earth.
My favorite Hollow Earth theory on as far as like the people inside Hollow Earth, and this is fucking out there, but it's my favorite one. So there's reptiles in the Hollow Earth. And
supposedly, as you would say.
The theory goes that they were dinosaurs that escaped into the Hollow Earth and
we've talked about this before.
Escaped the Chicxulub.
Remember I talked about the Star Trek Voyager episode where the dinosaurs were abducted right before the meteor hit, and they evolved on the other side of the galaxy into a humanoid-esque species. Yeah,
the reptilians, basically the same thing as what this theory is.
It was kind of funny because they had their own dogma about how they were the first species ever, and where they came from is where they started, and they didn't, like the people who ran the government didn't want to hear about Earth. That there were other people that came from this planet. So it's pretty crazy.
But to think, so like, now we speculated that what made the dinosaurs huge was the oxygen content in the air was a lot higher, and that's what made them bigger. Right. So, when the crater hit, the oxygen...
Well, we didn't speculate. I'm sure science said that before we did.
Right. Well, but we were, talking about that. So whenever the asteroid hit the Earth, it, I guess, brought the oxygen content down due to, like, lack of sunlight and all that and whatnot, right? And trees die.
Right, makes sense.
Okay. So that would mean oxygen goes down. The size of the reptiles go down, so instead of being huge dinosaurs, now they're just fucking regular
small
6-8 foot
it was the man size.
Yeah, except man-sized fucking reptiles. I thought that was cool. I thought that was a very cool out there theory for it. Like, oh really? Dinosaurs escaped in the inner Earth and now they're fucking human size? Is that right? Like,
I mean, if there's a sun down there providing light, sure.
Fucking saber-toothed tigers and shit down there. And
woolly mammoths.
Yeah.
So dinosaurs, which died out 60-something million years ago, are down there hanging out with woolly mammoths, which died 10,000 years ago.
Which are, in turn, all hanging out together with fucking 12-foot-tall Nordic people and gray aliens. Son of a bitch, this Hollow Earth's kid.
I kind of want a vacation in Agartha.
Right. Oh, so I was doing some research for this, and this is a little funny, and I told Everett I was going to bring it up to you guys. So I sent him a video in our doc, and it was like... a video from the International Space Station showing like the top of the world, and the title of the video was Hollow Earth Proof, What NASA Doesn't Want You to Know. And I'm like, oh yeah, shit, cool, click, 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 fucking sweet, yeah. And so
finally the truth.
Right, yeah. Oh, no way. So like fucking the ISS is panning over the top of the world, which by the way, did you see what I put over there? That's a flat, that video is a flat earther's nightmare.
Well, if it were a real video.
It is a real video, it's just not what it's saying it's showing.
Fair enough. It might have been from a movie. Anyway.
I guess that could be true. It might not be from the International Space Station. But, so there's a big fucking void right here on the top of the Earth.
All it is, I'm going to finish this for you because you're going long-winded. It's a goddamn hurricane, and they're focused on the eye of the hurricane, and it's blurry.
And it was cool, though.
So you can't tell that it's not ice on top of the planet. You can't tell that you're not looking at the so-called North Pole top of the planet.
Right.
It's just the eye of a big ass hurricane.
Fucking huge at that.
It looks like the day after tomorrow, the giant half hemisphere
Right.
hurricanes. It looked like they took that, put a black and white and blur filter over the top of it, and said, "Boom, entrance to Hollow Earth confirmed by the space station."
So Everett and I share. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Google Drive, but we share a document online all the time. And so like as I add that in there, I go back later and I'm like, okay, upon second thought, this is probably just a storm. I was like, so
Yeah.
maybe we can take that out because I don't think this is actually the entrance to the Hollow Earth. Probably just a storm.
Well, let's get back into the Richard Byrd shit.
Yeah, Admiral Richard. He was Rear Admiral.
Rear Admiral. That's just another ranking.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we'd have to go through, but it starts out at like swab.
Yeah.
Goes up to like ensign,
Mate,
lieutenant, captain, commander.
I'm sure there's people that are in the military or the armed services right now that are going, you fucking
If Dabney's
idiots.
watching, I'm pretty sure he was in the Navy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot.
I don't know. I don't think Dabney's watching. He'll probably listen later though.
Yeah, Ty Nip says that the Hollow Earth basically just sounds like a fantasy realm.
Prince could still be alive down
I
there.
mean, you're probably not that far off.
Anyway, Richard Byrd. You ever heard of him?
I have.
Rear Admiral. We've just spoken.
Richard E. Byrd, yeah. Yeah, so he, oh man, the footage was cool. Did you watch the footage? He took some footage on his trip over across the South Pole, across Antarctica in 19...
Okay, hold on. Stop right there real quick. Why is it my research on Byrd half of the time that says he went to the South Pole and half the time it
Because
says
he
went to
made
the North Pole?
he's the only one to do both expeditions.
Okay.
He's the one who's allegedly have seen both entrances. The only person who ever, they say other expeditions have been to the north and seen that one.
You know
But
what
he's
else
the
he
only
got?
one
He
who's
got
seen both.
the award of being the most full of shit person alive.
Shit, man, they trusted the hell out of that guy.
They gave him
4,500 men and like 7
warships, aircraft carriers,
He went down there.
37 planes.
He went down there for I think it was an 8-month or 6-month expedition.
Supposed to have been.
They were down there 2 weeks and cashed out.
Well,
They were down- they were-
apparently they had flown over. Go ahead, tell us about the valley and all the shit. The savage land, if you will.
So they fly over what is supposed to be the entrance to the Hollow Earth on the South Pole. And, they see lakes, green vegetation, river, mammals. They're seeing it, so it's like, what the fuck? Well, they end up getting into a fight over the water with what they can only describe as like a flying saucer come shoot out of the ocean right there by Antarctica, and it like makes very distinct and
Oh,
deliberate.
you know how aliens fly?
Of course,
they
they
fly
don't-
like zigzag. They don't believe the shortest.
No,
just
of course
past any
not.
place is a straight line.
But long story short, he went from like 4,500 men to something like 200, and he lost every ship but one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he came back with his tail tucked between his. He got his ass kicked.
So he says.
Regardless
I'd
of
really love to know how he lost 4,000 plus guys and millions of dollars in ships.
Well, right. Well, was it the
Maybe-
Nazis? Because a lot of people say they escaped down there, and that.
Well, that's what I had read too. That it was a joint Nazi extraterrestrial task force.
Yeah.
Well, not task force. It was what was left of those who had fled and didn't go to Argentina. They went through the Hollow Earth or went through the North Pole down to the South Pole. I don't know. The stories really vary.
Well, they say whenever he entered the Hollow Earth in the Antarctic and the South Pole, that he flew for 2,300 miles in before he reached. And I don't understand that because you don't have
Okay.
fuel in a plane for that, right?
That's a good point.
2,300
You can get 2,300 miles in a.
Now you can, but could you back then?
I'm sure you could if you had a big enough tank.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
you know how the pictures of the Hollow Earth works? Have you seen the one that shows his flight to where he basically goes up to the North Pole, loops into the Hollow Earth through the big hole, and then flies like parallel to the outside of the Earth, but on the interior crust.
Like that?
Right. Yeah, imagine it like a 360-degree donut that he flew into the top of. And then anyway, he starts getting the shit kicked out of him, so he hightails it right back up out of that hole and never comes back.
Dabney does say, he says a rear admiral is either a 1 or 2-star admiral.
Well, that doesn't really mean much more.
And yes, Shane's right. Shane brings up a great point here in the chat that there are more than 2 entrances, and we learned that there's another entrance underneath the
They're
Pyramid
all
of
over.
Giza.
Pyramid of Giza, Mammoth Cave in Kentucky.
There was another one.
You can find plenty of maps out there that have, and they're weird hand-drawn maps, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're not really legit.
They have all kinds of caves and systems throughout the world that are apparently deep enough to get you into not the flat Earth, the Hollow Earth. So check
You going
that
flat
out.
Earth on us?
Yep.
Everett went full flat Earth.
Okay, here's something that was interesting in our research. It says on March 13th, 1956, Byrd returns to the U.S. and says the present expedition has opened up a vast new land, which he later refers to as an enchanting continent in the sky.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? Like it's floating somehow in the sky down in the Hollow Earth now. Is his story. That's even better than like the Agartha legends and all that.
It's so fairy tale-ish,
Loving it. These explorations were divulged on radio at the time, having a worldwide significance. Millions of people heard these announcements and saw the press releases, and the U.S. government decided eventually to strictly censor the information, prevent its circulation. This is what I've read. I don't know if there's redacted CIA files that have, blacked out Hollow Earth info.
No, but you can actually find the National Geographic issue that deals with Admiral Byrd and his South Pole, North Pole expeditions into the Hollow Earth. They printed an issue on it, but it was fully redacted, or not redacted, it was fully pulled off. What do you call that? They pulled it. They didn't even make circulation. Right. Yeah, no. As soon as they found out, nope, get that shit back in. That's it. No, we're not having that.
Nope, we fucked up.
Yep, they pulled that right back in.
So here's a note that's pretty much all the narrative I have on it. What else? What do you have?
I got a couple good articles. Hang on here. Now this next one I'm going to be taking from thegreaterpicture.com / Hollow Earth. It's just another great article that I found.
Great. Okay. Carry on.
Okay, so this talks about the Council of 12, which is like a group of...
Hit me with it. I don't know about it.
It's like a group of 6 men and 6 women that govern Agartha. And of course, these are probably your 12-foot tall, 3,000-year-old
type sons of bitches.
Yeah. So it's a compassionate board of directors that provides guidance and protection to the entire citizenry. The high priest performs other important functions for the people. All cities and houses are connected by a most ingenious spiritual computer system. It functions with the use of amino acids and is used for internal and galactic communication. It also keeps check on the health of the citizenry and monitors their intake levels of vitamins and minerals.
That's nice.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, that's pretty cool. There's no money.
I was gonna say, this sounds like a socialist type of communist.
Oh, this is
goddamn Kermish.
They're all chipped down there.
That's what happened to USSR. They just said fuck the surface.
So there's no use of money in Agartha. People use the barter system, and there's plenty of everything for everyone. Energy's free, of course. This sounds like a picture-perfect Earth. You know what I mean? Like,
I kind of want a vacation there.
Right.
Nice place to live, but you wouldn't want to vacation.
Oh, listen to this. So the cities are accommodated with moving sidewalks, and for shorter distances of a sort of scooter is used. So if you got to walk somewhere, you can use the moving sidewalks, but if you got to really go far, they got scooters.
Sure.
Scooters, yeah. Just like Florida. You just fucking rent the scooters.
Do they have those hoverboards that aren't really hoverboards? You just kind of stand on them and have wheels on the edge. Have you seen those?
Yeah, that's not a hoverboard.
Why do they call those hoverboards?
It's not a hoverboard.
If you've seen Back to the Future 2, you know what a real one
is. At
is.
all. Yeah, like my kid tells me, she says, I want a hoverboard, Dad. I'm like, they don't fucking exist. She's like, no, it's on the commercial. I'm like, that's not a fucking hoverboard.
That's like a sideways skateboard.
Yeah, there you go. That's a sideways skateboard, baby. Where was I? Okay, so
Council of 12 shits.
Yeah, the cities are accommodated with moving sidewalks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, an electromagnetic system called the tube is used for travel from one city to another. So now I told you before, there's like
that's Elon Musk.
There's like 120 different big cities in the inner Hollow Earth,
or whatever it exists in this story.
So I think you'd have to have some sort of way to get around from city to city. Say you got relatives over living in Shambhala. It's like, hey, baby, let's go to Shambhala, visit mom.
Let's vacation. I hear they got some good dinosaur exhibits.
Yeah. The bar's got good whiskey at Shambhala. So, yeah, no, they got a tube. You just get in the fucking tube like at the bank.
See, that's what what's his name wants to do.
Elon Musk?
He wants to create a Hyperloop system where you can go from like San Francisco to Tokyo in like 2 hours.
Wow, that'd be neat.
But you know how it works? It's really cool. And a little side thing here. They take the tube and suck out all the air, so there's no resistance in there. And then it's maglev. At that point, without any kind of resistance and magnets, you can get that fucker just pew flying through there, man.
Yeah, but there's no in there. How do you breathe?
Well, your capsule is pressurized.
Oh, you got a capsule. Okay.
But it's not just that. They suck out the air on the front of you, creating a negative pressure, and they create a positive pressure on the back, too. So it's crazy.
They could, like, coil gun you.
Not quite. That'd be cool, though, wouldn't it? You're a rail gun?
Yeah, well, coil gun would be more of a tube-ish.
Have you rode the Mr. Freeze in St. Louis's Six Flags?
Of course.
It's got the magnetic launch. I mean, that's basically it.
Of course. That's like 0 to 60 in 1 second.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
I mean, you're fucking flying when you do that.
Faster than my car.
Anyway, so the tube can reach speeds of up to, get this, 4,000 miles an hour.
Okay, I want you to realize how fast that is.
Right.
So doing the math, if you're going 60 miles an hour, that's 1 mile a minute. To go 1 mile a second, that would be 3,600 miles an hour. So you are going 1 1/6 miles per second.
Was that a source? Fucking
that was like minutes ago. Anyway, that's 1 1/6 miles per second.
1 1/6 miles per second.
How long does it take to get
miles,
to that
5,280 feet.
Let me ask you this. How long does it take to get to that speed?
I don't know. I've never been in the tube.
This is all theoretical bullshit. How long does it take to slow down when you're going that fast? Because you can't just instantly go that fast, it'll rip your fucking face off.
Yeah, it'd be like a fucking train wreck, man, for sure.
And then trying to stop going, over a mile a second, you're gonna have to like slow down in a coil or something because there's not enough distance to slow down.
Right, that's crazy fast.
It's nuts.
Okay, so the Agarthans are fully integrated. I like that, the Agarthans. People, it's like, because we're Earthlings, so they're Agarthans.
Agarthlings?
Agarthlings?
Yeah.
Fuck it. They're fully integrated into the galactic way of interaction and are part of the Confederation of Planets. So they can talk to aliens too. Fuck.
So we're just the dumbasses on the surface.
We're the idiots on the surface. Gosh, that's horrible. They make space flights in ships that are capable of changing dimensions.
We've never even seen a live dinosaur.
Right. What kind of assholes are we? They're capable of changing dimensions, which makes it impossible for us to see them. It is at crowded places such as Mount Shasta and Mount Adams where spaceships come and go all the time.
True, those are I've heard of Mount Shasta before as an alien hotspot. So
yeah, well, we talked about that on our Strangest Places. That was one where
right.
Anyway, so contactee James Gilliard built his ranch at the foot of Mount Adams to search the night skies with visitors from all over the world. With binoculars, they watch the light ships move in and out of the mountains and outside the... I'd like to see a fucking video of that.
Now's not the time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, so I shouldn't be calling bullshit on that, but I am.
So let me ask you this real quick.
Wait, hang on. A little bit more on life on the inside, bud.
Okay.
This is the inside. It's the inner earth. Just like us, the Agarthans like to go out, of course. We wants to have a beer. They visit concerts and theaters and enjoy many types of art.
Of course, they have a culture. I mean,
right? So
you know what I mean. Even the Romans had a culture where they had the Colosseum and would go watch people destroy each other. I mean, cultures differ, but it's not surprising that they have fun.
Yeah,
entertainment, recreation.
Right. So fans of Star Trek would most likely recognize a holodeck. Well,
love the holodecks.
They really
exist.
They really exist, and that's how these inner Earthians.
That's how they have a good time.
These inner Earthlings. The inner Earthlings, the Agarthans. That's how they.
Inner Earthlings. I like
inner
that.
Earthlings.
Hollow Earthlings.
Trademark, not to be used without air.
Inner Earthlings is better.
Inner Earthlings is it.
Expression for Surreal Talk Inc.
Yeah, Surreal Talking. There you go. But that's what they do. They go to these holodeck type things, which is stuff like if you're not familiar with it from Star Trek, it's like a big room you go in and it just projects holographic
It's
images.
way more than that. It uses the same technology as the transporter and the food replicators and holograms. So how you feel something, like anytime you feel something, it's got the ability to more or less materialize like a transporter would, like how you get in and it puts you somewhere. It uses a very similar technology to that and the food replicators, which make food and other items, not just food replicators. They can make anything in their replicator. Yeah. And basically just make your environment as you need it around you. So when you're walking, you're not really walking. The floor you're standing on is holographic, but projected, and it's moving under you like a treadmill.
Yeah.
I love them. Anyway, now enough about how what they call holodecks work.
Yeah, so we were surprised they also play scenes from the outer surface because, so they like us. So like they want to, when they go to the holodecks, they do shit we do.
Oh, they might have a Romeo and Juliet day.
Yeah. But anyway, so Agarthans procreate the same way we do.
Bill and Hillary day.
The only big difference is that women aren't pregnant for 9 months, but only for a 3-month period.
Well, which species of the Agarthans?
This just says Agarthans.
Okay.
Once you go down there, it doesn't matter what
all
you
bets
are.
Off.
Reptile.
There's no racism
Nordic.
or speciesism, is there?
Of course not. There's no racism with Agartha.
Once you turn down there, your physiology changes. And now
everybody's Agarthan. You're all an inner Earthling at that point.
It's easy enough.
And, so 3 months, you have a 3-month gestation period. So because the Agarthans can be thousands of years old, a birth is very unique and considered to be something sacred. So when the time of the birth arrives, the expecting parents stay at the temple for 3 days. There, the baby is welcomed with peaceful, beautiful music and kind thoughts and soothing surroundings.
Like Kansas dust in the wind?
It's like giving birth in a bathtub,
They say that's nice for the baby.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So, like, sometimes in our world, the baby's... always born in water. Fuck, I shot the gun on that one. I didn't even read that first before I said that.
Savage.
What are you going to do? So yeah, that's just a little bit about life on the inside.
Let's get a little freeform here. Let's talk about the flat Earth and some of the weird shit that I don't get.
I wanted to talk to you about centrifugal force causing the void, and that's something I didn't understand that you wanted to talk about. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned,
something spins.
What's in the middle?
We're a podcaster. You can't make gestures on the podcast.
Fair enough. Well, can't you
What do you mean here? I'm not following you.
Like if I was... So it's spinning. What's in the middle?
The core?
No, the Earth is spinning.
Right.
What's in the middle?
The core.
When it's in its hot early stages of life, the Earth I'm talking about, maybe a 500 million years old.
Well, it had stuff on the outside of it when it was that hot. It gets that hot originally, It's in space. It's not hot shit coming together.
No, I understand
It's cold
that.
stuff that comes together, and the pressure of the heat and gravity is what turns it hot.
I understand that.
And the heavier stuff sinks to the bottom due to gravity having a bigger effect on higher, more massive atoms.
Right. So, but as it's spinning, you would think that it would pull some of that stuff to the outer edge.
Gravity.
Causing the void in the middle.
Well, gravity's effects are way more pronounced than the whatever centrifugal force is being created at that time.
Yeah, but what if there's a star in the middle of it? I mean, we're creating more gravity on the inside, pushing shit to the outside, creating that void.
Well, let me ask you this then. Why can't you just take a string right now and throw it up in the air if we got enough centrifugal force, and that string just kind of go out away from the center of the planet because we're spinning fast enough? You know what I'm saying? If there's not enough force to take a string and just toss it up and it always stays away from the center of the planet, then there's not enough force, in my opinion, with that centrifugal force to make a void.
All right, look,
Does
I
that
didn't
make
say
sense?
there weren't holes in the theory.
I realize I'm not saying that you believe it, but
No.
I'm trying to tell you in a simple scientific way,
Right.
here, if this doesn't work, that's not going to work.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I get that. Okay.
If a simple fucking cotton string can't float, rock ain't
Let me
floating.
run this one by you.
All right, hit me with it.
What about the Apollo 12 seismic experiments?
With the moon?
With the moon.
Right, what about it?
Okay, so they put seismographs on the moon, and then they shot a big-ass fucking rocket at it. Boom! And then the moon rang like a bell for an hour.
Well, it didn't ring like a bell because it didn't make any
They
sound.
said rang like a bell.
It vibrated. I guess bells vibrate.
Frequencies.
Frequencies, buzzword.
Doesn't that fit right there?
Has something to do with
Frequencies,
peaks and
vibrations.
valleys.
Gosh.
Anyway.
No, but either all planets are solid or they're all hollow. I mean,
Well,
I can't-
Edmund Halley actually thought that all were hollow.
exactly. That's
In his theory, too, if you look at it, it's hard to picture because they show you a 2D representation of a 3D object. But it shows, imagine like a banana-shaped, think of it 2D, it's banana-shaped outer crust
okay.
that bends around itself with
Right.
a core in the middle that floats around this core somehow.
Uh-huh.
I guess similar to how our planets float around the sun.
Two
right now.
bananas around an orange.
Right. Well, I'm taking those two bananas and spin them all the way around that orange. So that's your 3D hollow Earth. And at the very top where the bananas don't make the full circle, that's your entrances.
Ah, 2 pieces of watermelon
there you
around
go.
an orange.
Right. Hollow out a watermelon, put that in there, and then put a hole in the top and bottom.
Yes.
And Halley's thought that the center of gravity of the planet was not in the very center of the entire structure like as we know it. He put the center of gravity down some hundreds of miles deep into the crust before it made it through into the hollow Earth. So that when you're on the crust of the hollow Earth in the inside, you still have the same gravity you have on the outside.
Well, I never thought about that. Okay, because if the center of gravity would have been in the center of the Earth, you wouldn't have the
You
same...
would still fucking fall.
Right.
Even with your centrifugal
cool,
Earth
cool,
model,
cool, right,
where if it's just caused by the planet spinning fast enough, like I said before, you can't just go outside, erect something that follows the same simple curvature of the inside of the Earth, and jump up and stick to it and walk around on it.
Well, right.
It's not going to work on the inside of the planet. It's not going to work on something you build in your backyard. It just doesn't work that way. We're not spinning that fast. In fact,
How fast are we spinning, Everett? 800 something miles an
1,000
hour?
miles an hour, something
1,000 miles an hour?
have you ever heard of the space elevator? Or the idea of a space elevator?
The idea... Oh, nigga, we got one now?
No,
For
we don't.
real?
No, not of the, but the idea of the.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You know, there has to be something like 17,000 miles long to be the point where the thing going is the elevator end itself is far enough from the center of the Earth that its circle to keep up with us is that fast to have that much centrifugal force so it doesn't fall back to the planet. Okay, take your planet, right, and have a cord that goes out like I was saying, a string.
Okay.
That's pretty much what the space elevator is. It's just a tether that goes out. But that tether has to be so long that the end of it is moving so fast to keep up with the base of the Earth. Think about the size of the circles.
Okay.
So whenever you spin something, like a gear, the inner part of the circle doesn't move, have as much space
Near as fast as...
as the outside. So you got to have that tether for your space elevator out some thousands of miles to where the end of it's going fast enough that it wants to break away and it's got enough tension to keep that fucker taut.
I get it. So kind of like if you put big wheels or rims on your car, it'll fuck up your speedometer.
Kinda. There's a weird thing going. I get where you're going with that, but yeah, basically that. If you can't get the kind of centrifugal force you need without going 1,000 miles up and tethering yourself
Right.
out, you're not getting it enough to stick to anything at this level of our where we're at.
You know, I should have watched a Vsauce video on this. That's what I.
Vsauce is
I,
cool.
I
That little
love
ball dude.
Vsauce. Yeah, so like every episode we do, I try to see if there's a Vsauce video about it because I like Vsauce.
I need this explained to me with a nice graphic.
Yeah, and really nice words. And I mean, he's just such a nice guy. One of the questions that I had though about Hollow Earth is if it's hollow, how do we have an electromagnetic field, and how are we not burnt up by the sun's radiation?
Well,
that's like a deal breaker.
Like, how's
for
the
me.
inside of it not?
How do we have?
Okay, so
an ozone
You're
layer?
assuming then, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, that if we have a hollow Earth, we don't have the core creating our magnetic field.
Yes, exactly.
So why
the
wouldn't
spinning
that
core.
same star that definitely spins? All stars spin at some speed. They just do. That's the way circular bodies generally go, unless they're tidally locked to another thing, like how the moon is tidally locked. Right. Where was I at? What were we talking about?
Star spinning.
Oh yeah, the magnetic field. So that itself should create a magnetic field if there's a star down there, which could cancel out all the cosmic radiation coming from our regular topside sun, not our internal sun.
Yeah, but would it be enough for?
I don't know the math behind it. You're gonna need somebody like Isaac goddamn Newton or Stephen Hawking to get down to figure out the epsilons and the deltas of all that.
Well, Stephen Hawking, if you're listening, I really wish you'd reach out to us. Let us kind of know, because there's just
How can you get a hold of us?
info@surrealtalkpodcast.com, of course.
Oh God, we are like today. We're some smart ass, like smug sons of bitches. I feel like we're coming off as big assholes today on the Hollow Earth.
Yeah, we could.
So here's a freak of question I saw. Why don't modern aircraft fly to the edge of this
I'm
opening?
just stoned enough for these metaphors. What's that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So one of the frequently asked questions I found is why don't modern aircraft fly to the edge of the opening?
Yeah. Why is there no planes and no satellites directly over?
So this is an explanation I found online. I'm going to read it, and then we'll talk about if I feel it's scientific.
Yeah, and then I'll crush it.
Because I'm apparently the scientific expert around here.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
They say
if it's me or you, it's definitely fucking you. Okay.
They say it's because there's all kinds of magnetic distortion near the opening because the magnetic lines of the force pass through the inner rim of the donut opening. So
The force is real.
the magnetic force, not the force.
What the fuck?
So as aircraft approach the opening, their instruments of their navigation typically go haywire. Navigation.
Okay.
So that's to say that all modern aircraft still travel by magnetic, they use magnetics for their things instead of GPS, which I find to be bullshit.
That is bullshit.
At this point, it's assumed that aircraft basically is over the pole whenever your instrumentation goes crazy. Okay, I guess. With the navigational instruments haywire, how is anyone going to know exactly where they are, and why would any pilot stick around to find out? That's the explanation you're given. That's why people don't go up there. And you showed me a graphic, too, that shows the path of satellites. Going like geosync satellites that are going around the Earth.
Yeah, that was an official thing, too. That wasn't like I didn't bullshit that up or nothing.
Official who? Government?
You want a source? I'll give you one later. Anyways, go ahead.
Sources, fuck you.
Yeah, sources, fuck off.
Sources, Google and some link I clicked.
Did it ever just suggest the moon isn't spinning?
The moon is okay. It's a hard thing to say. The moon itself is sort of spinning, but one side of it is always locked to us. So to us, it doesn't look like it's spinning.
Oh, it's spinning, but it's not. We only ever see the one side.
Right.
We only ever see one side of the moon. That's why the dark side of the moon's not dark. It's dark to us. Right. That's why it's called the dark side of the moon. It's dark to us because we don't know.
Well, when it's away from the sun, it's dark. But whenever our side of the sun is, or moon, the tidally locked part is away from the sun, it's dark as well.
Yeah, it's the dark side of the moon is only. They only call it dark because we don't see it. We only see one side of the moon at all times, right? Am I right? Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Calm down.
Okay.
All right, what about Arctic explorers? How come no opening has been noticed by Arctic explorers? This is another one of these questions that have been answered online. The North Pole and South Pole apparently do not exist.
Oh, really?
I guess we can stop here. In their place are polar openings that lead into the inner Earth. Anyone en route to a polar opening is eventually stopped by the Outer Earth Guardsman. Outer Earth Guardsman.
Really?
That's a thing now. This is because the funnel shape of the opening would give the illusion to a person traveling across the bowel-like side. I guess it means bowl-like. The spelling I found on these sites is just atrocious. Or having come straight across the neck of the opening. Such a traveler would have experienced exaggerated sledding speeds.
Was the curvature flattened out and angled inwards? Wow.
So I guess whenever you're on your dog sled, I guess they're assuming you're traveling by sled as an Arctic
explorer. You mean your sleigh? S-L-A-Y?
Yeah, and you hit the curve of the opening, you're just going to take off at a fucking just crazy speed.
An exponential rate.
Which makes sense. You're going downhill into the flat Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, along the inner rim, the angle of the curvature would have tilted inwards, thus looking straight above. The person would be seen to be looking at the point which is straight over the middle of the donut opening, but from an angle off to the side without ever realizing that any angle is even involved. So what they're saying is
your perspective won't be.
Well, yeah, as you're coming in, like you traverse the curve, and you're at the apex of the curve. When you look up, you're seeing the other side of the whole opening, like the same spot you are, the curve. You're seeing that curve across. So it's like now you're up as land. Like you're like, because you think
No,
about
I understand what you mean.
Imagine 2 sodas right next to each other, and you're going down one. Eventually, you're looking up, and the sky is there. So that's weird.
Okay, so how come all glaciers are freshwater?
What does this have to do with Hollow Earth?
Well, because the South Pole and the North Pole are big, like, polar caps, glaciers. Okay, well, when they melt fresh water off. If they're part of the fucking ocean, why are they not melting salt water? Why are they made of fresh water, not salt water?
Generally,
and the reason I'm asking this question is because some of the Hollow Earth theory is...
Let me try to...
Hang on. Some of the Hollow Earth theory is that the water for these glaciers at the North and the South Pole comes from the inside of the Earth.
There's a natural spring?
Exactly, and it's not related to the oceans as far as like the salt water goes.
So you know what temperature standard saline water?
38 or 32 degrees.
38 degrees.
32 degrees Fahrenheit, yeah. It's 28 for
seawater with its salinity is roughly 28. So the small spots in the ocean that are more fresh than the others, they'll freeze first, causing little clumps to form, just like the way a planet forms. You'll have all these little specks of ice that clump up and freeze into bigger ones, while the colder or the stuff that's a little less cold or a little more you get what I'm saying?
I do.
The more saline water that freezes at the
higher salt content, the lower the temperature it takes to freeze it.
Right. Okay. So basically, you've got all the shit that's easily frozen floating around. And as the temperature comes up, the saltwater ship melts first.
So you're saying that everything that's freezable at a certain temperature just groups together?
Think about it. In your cup, whenever you're drinking a soda and you've got a bunch of ice in it, that ice will eventually congeal.
If you leave it alone.
If you've seen it, well, who's going up there pushing around fucking...
I mean, earthquakes.
Earthquakes on the water? There's waves, I can get that.
Earthquakes cause tsunamis.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
But it doesn't have...
Am I wrong? A big-ass 20-mile high wave wouldn't disrupt that
I'm sure
deal,
it would, but how often does that happen? There's rogue waves that are...
Fuck, it just happened in like 2010.
And you think that just destroys all chances of icebergs being coalesced together?
No.
And then there's different types of icebergs.
That was a hell of a way to put it, though. That just destroys all icebergs or what?
Yeah. Well, think about icebergs that are basically glacier things that have broken off. Glaciers are formed by snow, right? The compacted snow over the eons.
Yes.
And as they travel down, big parts of them break off into the water. That's fresh water. Snow is fresh water.
Right.
Same thing in Antarctica. Whenever the part of the ice shelf breaks off, you see the giant pieces of the ice shelf break off. That's fresh water because it's ancient snow that's compacted. That's why you've got your freshwater icebergs. That's not to say there aren't slightly saline or slightly salty icebergs out there. They exist.
Yeah. But the water is just going to be very fucking cold for that to happen.
The shit that freezes first is your more saline, your less brackish water.
Your fresher water.
Right. Any other brain busters? Like I see you got down here.
Any more brain busters?
You say here, if the Earth is hollow, where does lava come from? That's a good question, hollow earthers.
I didn't. That was something I thought about immediately because
I'm going to say it's the same place that center of gravity.
Ever since I was a kid, you get the picture of the Earth
with the volcano,
and you get the little
like
veins, the lava veins coming up into the volcanoes, and it's all. So if it's
you got heat plumes coming up from the mantle.
Where's fucking lava come from? If the Earth's hollow, where do we get lava from?
Okay, so that's to say that every theory of the hollow Earth is the completely hollow Earth. To say that the crust is completely cut off from the core. You know what I mean? Then you got to wonder, where do volcanoes come from? I guess that magma is somewhere inside, just like that center of gravity Haley said.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that would kind of make sense. If you got to have
a hollow earther, guys.
No. At least their argument continues in the same vein. You know what I'm saying? If Haley's saying that there's a center of gravity in the middle of this shell, it would make sense that it's in the middle of that. It would be like our planet. That's where all your magma is, in the middle of your big land mass, so to speak. All the pressures cause the dirt and the crust there to basically turn into magma. That's the best way I can explain it, going along with the way they think about it.
God, sometimes I just realize how stupid I am.
Oh man, I realize that all the time. You getting a phone call? You're so stupid that you didn't mute your phone.
It's Mom.
You're supposed to every week.
Why don't you tell her to not call in?
I don't think you will. Show, Mom. You know we're doing a show, Mom.
Come on, Mom. Gosh.
No, but that's like I was saying. That's to say
I love you, Mom.
That's to say that every flat Earth theory is the completely hollow theory. Well, what if? Think about Matrix.
No. Not flat Earth. You said flat Earth.
Sorry, you know how these two are. Think about it, the hollow Earth, like the Matrix. There was the city they had, Zion, and that sound familiar to you? Zionism.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but there could be giant cavities, where people could have gone down and live in giant cavities in the earth. But the only problem I have with that is I don't have a problem with the heat, with them getting heat. It would probably be way too hot to live. But where do they get their light? You know what I mean? If it's a giant cavity, that takes away the whole, there's a sun in the center.
Right. Mirrors?
Mirrors from where?
No, you're right. If it's cavity.
Is there a giant hole in the earth that they got some mirror system set up like in the movie Legend?
Legend. That's what I was thinking. That's totally what I was thinking of too. Was Legend.
They got some big ass plates that shined up.
Yeah, then fucking.
There's little woodland fairies thrown around like frisbees.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. That's an interesting theory though. Instead of the main flat Earth, I find it much more plausible.
Hollow.
God damn it, you're right. I'm sorry. Sorry, hollow earthers. You're not crazy like the flat earthers.
Right, you're grouping the hollow earthers in with those fucking flat earthers nowadays. And we're sorry if you're a flat earther. We're just bullshitting.
Yeah, well, you believe what you want to believe. That's fine. I don't care. You believe in Jesus. You can believe in the flat Earth. It's just what you believe in.
Yeah, I mean, you want to believe in the hollow Earth. Believe in the hollow.
But you get what I'm saying?
Hollow Earth.
The hollow Earth. It's much more believable. There's giant open voids.
Well, I mean, what about that crystal cave in Mexico that they didn't found too much of? That's a huge void.
Well, there's caves. It doesn't matter. There's crystals in it. Well, yeah, you're going to get down there. You're going to get hot. I would never, for instance, try to go cave, exploring near Yellowstone because of the giant caldera that's under there, the giant magma. Never,
ever do that.
Well, think about how far underground you got to get there. Like 15, 20 feet is basically all that sits underground where Old Faithful is. And it's so hot, the water's rushing in the sides of this hole, and eventually it builds up in flash boils because it's so hot under there. And poof,
it's just nuts.
You don't go fucking around underground. It's hot.
It's hot.
There's one thing we know, it's hot.
It's very hot.
Places like Merrimack Caverns, which is close to us, they're cool, sure, near the surface. 60 degrees year round. That's fine. But you get deeper and deeper in the earth, you start dealing with a lot of heat. And that's my biggest problem, too. You're going to get barbecued down in the flat earth.
Ooh, Seegers makes a great point, though. If the earth is flat, where does the magma come from?
Checkmate, flat earthers.
Fuck right, you ain't kidding.
He also says Uranus has giant cavities.
Well, yeah, so does his.
Well, you guys would know.
But that's a good point. That's something you ask a fucking flat earther. Okay, yeah, if the earth is flat, where do we get the lava from? Where's lava come from? Flat earther? Explain that to me, flat earther.
That's a good question. Well, shit.
Yeah, I think we blew it.
Blew the loot. Chat,
Yeah.
you got anything else? We got 30 seconds before they get this question, so.
Very scientific.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
What do you think about this compared to last time? We did it for about an hour this time.
Yeah, well, I think we touched on a lot of stuff that we didn't touch on last time, and there's stuff that we touched on last time we didn't really.
We're much better at discussing the topics than we were then, too.
Well, right, but
you know how to.
We weren't so much like last time. I feel like I was really fact based, wanted to be serious. Like
you were reporting on the flat Earth last time, which was cool. You were like, "This just in, the Earth or not flat. The Earth is hollow."
Yeah. I was totally like drinking the Kool-Aid or whatever,
and that's cool. I mean, a year ago, you drank the Kool-Aid on a lot of stuff. I remember you running around with magneticInfowars.com bumper stickers trying to stick them to everything you could.
I stuck it to your car.
Yeah, and this is before we started the show. I really had no clue what Infowars was other than my crazy fucking conspiracy theory-ass brother.
I stuck a bumper sticker to Everett's car, but see, I put it on a magnet so he could take it off, so because I didn't want to ruin his car. 9/11 was an inside job. Took a bunch of pictures of it, sent them to him. He's like, "You fucker." He wasn't very happy about that.
And I'm sure you guys have all heard the story about before the show. Eric used to bother me all the time. Hey, man, have you been on Google or YouTube lately? Looked up these videos on.
What do you know about flat Earth?
Flat Earth.
Talk to me about hollow Earth here.
Goddamn weird shit. It used to bother me to know.
The Giants is still the fucking cream of the crop. And 9/11. Those are my favorites.
Say flat one more time. That's funny.
Shit.
That's funny. What's up, Eli? Eli made it just in time for the end.
Hey,
how's that theme coming? We were talking about that earlier. We're excited to hear it. If you got any kind of demo, send me over a little demo. info@surrealtalkpodcast.com, Eli. Eric's.
I'm just laughing at Kyle. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Say flat one more time. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say it again.
That is a tasty burger.
Yeah. That's a big kahuna burger, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that's it. What we wanted to keep those reviews coming. We haven't received an iTunes review in a couple of weeks. And
it's made me sad because every day, the first thing I do is wake up and I get on my phone, I load up my podcast app and check for new reviews. I'm vain, but it's like crack and you get to start liking what people say. Until somebody sends a bad review. We got a nice tweet the other day. Let me bring this tweet
we got a bad tweet?
Sort of. We lost a listener over the wrestling show.
Really?
Yeah, hold on, let me find it.
I thought that wrestling show was very well done.
Yeah, he says, at Surreal Talk show, the weed episodes were really, really bad.
Well, I mean, okay, agreed.
Yeah, then wrestling, sigh. SMH, shake my head. It was fun, fellas, and a wavy emote. I replied and I said, the weed show part 1 was admittedly bad, but the Benoit stuff was pretty good. Hollerworth this weekend. Hope you listen. Should be good.
I don't think he understands what we're trying to do here.
I don't think he's completely wrong. The weed episode.
The weed episodes. That was your idea, by the way. Everyone, just so everyone knows.
I wanted to do Hollow Earth that weekend. You told me, let's do marijuana. Let's get Alex to come. He wants to be involved in the marijuana show. And then you get all bombed out. Not to say that I wasn't, but you were 10 times
bombed out.
Let's just say
I was bombed.
You would never be able to do a show on any kind of like. I don't think you should be able to smoke cigarettes during a show because it just won't work for you.
But hey, in our defense, we got people that was like, "Hey, you guys should do a show on alcohol about alcohol while you're drinking alcohol."
I don't think that's a good idea.
That would be way worse than the weed show.
Probably so. But
you have Karen be fighting and shit in here, be all drunk, rolling around on the fucking studio floor.
The first weed episode, like we said, was bad. But what I'm noticing from the downloads, people didn't even give parts 2 and 3 a chance.
No, it's they seen the first.
It
one
was
and
record
bonked
bad
the fuck
downloads
out.
that
Yeah,
week.
they bonked the fuck out after the
What's
first
bummer
one.
because I thought the second marijuana show was really
The
good.
second one was not bad. The first
If
one.
you haven't listened to it, come on, give us a shot. Go back and listen to the one, at least not part 3 with the pop culture and the weed movies and weed music. Go to the second one.
Shane, you'd be surprised. He says he didn't even listen to the wrestling episodes.
It's not a wrestling episode.
It's not a wrestling episode. It's a true crime episode. There's a conspiracy.
Involving a guy who was a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
Now, we did a wrestling version of it on my other podcast.
Yeah, but that was part 2 of the. I mean,
and not even on Surreal Talk. The show on Surreal Talk we did about Chris Benoit was not about wrestling. We didn't talk about his best matches, his tag team partners, his managers.
finishing move, none of that shit. We talked about the murder of his daughter, or the murder of his son and wife, and how he was maybe possibly
not either in the right mind or somebody else did. There's a lot of ins and outs to that case. Have a listen. It was our longest single episode of Surreal Talk ever.
Yeah, and it was a good show. It was, in my opinion, one of our best shows. I liked it. There was chocked full of good, useful information. There was plenty of fucking banter back and forth.
So if you're shitting on the wrestling show,
you should give that one a try. Man, I mean, I would watch it.
JB says we should do a Halo show.
I mean, I would.
I don't know how you could do a Halo show and make it work for us.
Let's talk about a little nostalgia here before we started Surreal Talk. We were going to do a Halo show.
The Shots Fired?
Shots Fired.
That's available right now on YouTube. You can find it. If you
can find our Shots Fired show?
Let me find it.
Oh, my God. That's so bad.
The original Eric and Everett podcast show.
The original podcast. Yeah, Shots Fired. You even had a good animation made for the beginning and everything.
It was great. I'll put a link up on the group later if people want to watch it. It's like we did a 45-minute show.
I know. I can't believe we did. Yeah.
Anyway, I got nothing else today.
No, keep the reviews coming.
Please give us reviews.
Yeah, if you join the group.
If you're going to be shitty, you used to say be honest. No, we don't like that anymore.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Keep the reviews
Send us
coming.
shitty emails, even if they're funny. I'd like to read some shitty, funny emails.
Yeah. Blizzard makes a great point. He said Benoit was legit.
That's not Blizzard. That's B Hazard. That's not Blizz.
Oh, it looks like 2 L's. That's a
You
capital H.
have the worst eyes in history.
Anyways, he says that marijuana should have probably stuck strictly to the prohibition and the conspiracy surrounding the
Or did that part first.
Yeah, because that was part 2.
It was part 2.
That's the part nobody watched. This was the meat of the. That was the part no one watched.
We're getting some good things here. Oh, shitballs. You know what? We're not going to do Nazi next week.
We're not?
Remember we discussed, we want to start crowdsourcing every single show.
Crowdsourcing?
The idea for the show. Remember I said I wanted to put a poll in the group?
Every time you want to do a poll?
What I want to do is put a poll in the group.
What they want to hear.
And whatever is the highest for the next week after we do the show, it's locked in. Like, so as soon as we get in now, whatever the highest one is, we delete that off the list, and that's next week's show. And by the time next week comes around, whatever the highest voted in the poll is, you can only have one vote at any time.
Yeah, but you got to do that on the website as well as the group, though, because if you just do
Now,
it.
that's incentive now to get on the group.
Oh, okay, so you get to pick the shows if you're in the group.
If you're in the group, that's the advantage.
Oh, nice, okay.
So maybe next week we do the Nazi occult and all that. Have we did a Nazi occult? I feel like we've did Nazis before.
No.
Anyway,
I've been called a Nazi through various emails on my view on Jewish people, but that's not. I'm not a Nazi.
You're not a Nazi.
I like your
You
mustache.
say the same stuff.
Fucking Himmler.
You say the same crazy shit they do. Hold on. We got an email about that, actually. Remember how I told you we had a guy quit listening due to your outlandish shit you say about Jewish people from time to time?
Yeah.
So he sent me an email, and I said, hey, man, we weren't really that out of line. Eric's views, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he says, sorry it's taking me a couple weeks to get back to you. This is Mike Wiener. Hey, Mike, I'm sure you're listening. How's it going, buddy? I still had you guys on my podcast playing your latest show started up, and here's Eric saying in the intro, we reserve the right to be wrong. And while an opinion, whether one agrees with it or not, it's never wrong. Opinion's never wrong. That's true. It's always subjective, and therefore, by definition, is never right or wrong. I realize Eric is free to disagree with me as well, just as anyone is. I love you guys, and I think I was reacting more to my initial shock of Eric's views on Jews than anything else.
It's not my view on
Then why do you keep saying it is your views on Jews?
No, it's
you just
not.
You don't want to admit it. You say, I'm no racist, but you don't realize what you're saying.
You're calling me a racist, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I am.
No.
But you know
not
what?
at
This
all.
is America, and we're still, at least as of now,
I'm
entitled
not
to our own
racist,
opinions.
for the fucking record. I'm just saying.
You just hate Jews. And if we start closing our minds and opinions to others, how can we hope to move forward together? He's got a damn good point. He says, okay, I may disagree with Eric's views on Jews. I like how that rhymes. But then he disagrees with mine. That's a wash in my mind, no harm, no foul. I disagree. Stop your shit.
I don't hate fucking Jewish
Dude,
people.
you're fucking I'm going to kill all the Jews in the world.com.
That is not what I said.
Okay.
All I said is that the people that
I was
run the
making a joke.
media
You had
happen to be Jewish.
And you say we get what you said. We've all heard it before. You're not really an anti-Semite. You're just an idiot. So he says, I'm happy to count myself among your loyal listeners. I love you guys. I love your show. And yeah, after that, I don't think there's anything either of you could do to make me stop listening. So that's good. Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Wait a minute. Okay, yeah, there's something we could do.
Yeah.
But we're not going to try.
And Seeger says, don't even get me started on the Japanese.
Yeah.
Apparently that's a
You should
joke.
hear whatever it says about the Japanese.
I don't want to buy their cars. I'd rather buy American. That's it. They make damn good Nintendos. I would rather have a Japanese
fuckers want
TV.
the bomb again? Well, shut up, won't you?
Good Lord. That's not what I'm
That
saying.
might have been over the top there.
Good Lord. You guess to get out the
Hitler
furnace.
was hired by the Rothschilds. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Why are you yeah? Because Hitler was hired by the Jews? Or by Jewish
The
people?
Rothschilds aren't really Jewish. They're
They're not?
Khazars. No. They hijacked it. I'm not even getting into this.
We need to do a Rothschild show.
I'm not even getting
then.
into
Hold on,
this.
Why don't we
with
do a
you.
Rothschild show sometime? Anyway, I'm going to create a poll on the group that's got, a few...
They hijacked the fucking religion from the actual Jewish people.
Oh, calm down. Just stop. Just stop.
go ahead.
Just stop.
Go ahead.
You're getting nowhere. I'm going to create a poll on the group. Join the group if you haven't. Facebook.com/group/Surreal Talk group. If you're not on Facebook, I'm sorry. You're kind of fucked. But I'm going to start the poll, put a couple things on there, and if you don't like any of the topics that are on there, put your own. Like I said before, the way Facebook polls work, you will not be able to have more than one vote at a time. I don't know. Anyway, join the group. We'll get it figured out. What are you writing here?
Don't read that out loud.
He says the real Jews were black. He says, don't say this out loud. I'm writing this on paper. For some reason, I don't think this is right.
No.
I don't think people would agree with
Because it
this.
only makes me look like I'm fucking more racist, and I'm not.
I'm just going to write it down and be quietly racist instead of... You don't get what you're
It's
doing.
not racist. Jesus Christ. Somebody get this fucking guy.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody get this fucking guy. Maybe probably a group of guys in hoods, or I don't know, maybe black uniforms with leather everywhere. I don't know how you guys hang out and burn crosses or whatever it is you guys do. I don't
Oh,
wanna
burn
go-
crosses, huh?
Whatever you do.
I'm off the grade. Indigo children. That's the ones with the little green kids? Indigo's more purple, though, right? That's like
Indigo's
violet.
blue-violet, yeah.
We'll have to look
red,
into that
orange,
one.
green.
Maybe he's just dropping an idea.
Could be. We'll get that up on the group here in a little bit, so...
All right, well, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No, that's pretty much it for me.
Everyday chaps. Yeah, so for Surreal Talk,
Go to surrealtalkpodcast.com, vote on the poll, Team Everett.
yep, Team Eric, for sure. Don't even say, I don't even, if you...
Oh, one more thing. So we you know how we've always did our Amazon and our Audible. You can still go to our website and do that stuff if that's what
Get
you're
your free
into.
audio trial, audiobook download. I don't even remember how it
30-day
goes.
trial,
I haven't done it in
free
like 8
audiobook
months.
download. There's lots of cool stuff. We'll get kickbacks. We're still waiting on that to actually pay off. You know what I said we never do, and I'm actually considering doing? The network's actually getting me to do?
What?
Patreon.
We're doing a beg thing.
We're probably gonna do a beg thing. The network.
What the fuck? I thought we were above that. I thought we were above
It's either
begging.
that or start doing a bunch of ads. And if we can get some people to voluntarily give us money, not everybody, it's all volunteer, if they like our stuff. and it keeps ads from getting on the show for a while, I'm not completely against it.
Right, yeah, because I would rather
really break the flow to have like 2 minutes of ads right in the middle, 2 minutes
It
at the very
really
beginning,
would break the flow.
before the theme. And eventually, the network might push us to have ads any which way. But for now, they want us to try out Patreon. So I'm working on creating a Patreon page.
we get that money, not them, right?
No, well, you know how the network works. We would get it. We would get most of it. But they pay for the electricity. They pay for this entire studio they let us use.
I got a pickup
There's
truck.
a lot of
We'll put
overhead.
all this shit
There's
in
a
my
lot of
pickup
other
truck, take it
podcasts
to my
that
house,
we need
do
to
it
kind of
there.
offset their thing too.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
So, but yeah, we're going to get the Patreon thing going on. If you like us enough to give us some money, that'd be cool. How Patreon works, there's 2 different ways it works. You can have a monthly donation. You say, like, oh, I'm going to give you guys
can
$5
pledge
a
yourself
month.
for
Right, we'll
that.
pledge you guys $5 a month. Or, and this is not the way I'm doing it, per episode download, we will give you $1 an episode you put out. I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
Because that encourages us to do more 2, 3, 4 parters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cheap.
It's gameable and it's dumb.
I gotta be honest with you. I don't like the beg thing.
I know, but we're going to do a beg video.
We're gonna do a beg video.
We're gonna do a beg video, not on YouTube, and we're gonna put it up there. And we're gonna basically be beggars, which I don't care. You've always wanted some money. This could be a way for you to get a little bit of money.
Well, yeah, but I wanted some money just because, like, so that way I don't have to work. But
We're still gonna have to work. I don't think there's any way we don't have the listenership to where
You're
we're gonna
right,
make
right.
enough money.
I just feel bad about the beg thing. Like, okay, so there's how this video is gonna go. This is Patreon. I'm Eric and Everett, and we're a Surreal
I see what
Talk.
you're doing there. You got your coffee cup full of your pencils. You got your blind glasses on.
Please. All right, no, you have the sign that says "We'll podcast for a meal."
For a meal,
yeah. And then I got my cup here, and we're gonna go. That's gonna be our Patreon video because we're fucking begging at that point.
Yeah. It is what it is, man. Who knows? I think with this little explanation, people will understand. It is what it is. So
he says extras would have to be there. That's what I was talking about earlier. I said, if you pledge like $10 a month, I could totally send you my show notes.
Like a copy of them?
No, like the actual show notes.
So the only one person out there, first person that's pledged $10, that's it. Get your show notes. That's just kind of short-sighted.
For one episode.
I mean, at that point, why don't we just have a donation store where you donate $50, you get my show notes from this episode.
Because $50 is a lot of fucking money.
But that's my point. You know what I mean? It's like the way rewards work.
It just sounds begging. Either way, it goes.
I know,
like we're begging. I don't like it.
I feel like a bitch.
I don't hate blind people. God damn it! You better cut this, Everett.
Drebin says, "Where are the shirts?" So I did send out a bunch of shirts to the people who won last week. We still don't have a store. Yeah, Drebin asks. He didn't win a shirt.
Oh, he didn't win a shirt?
No, Jennifer Green, Frank Reynolds won a shirt. Jessica Theodore won a shirt, and one other person, I forget. Oh, Brian Maiden. Brian Maiden won a shirt, too. He actually got his already.
Did he?
Yeah, I sent him out each Surreal Talk shirt and a LMG shirt, Line Up Media Group shirt, lineupmedia.fm. He said he had a little hole. Brian did in his LMG gray shirt. So that was my printing company kind of fucked us over there.
Oh, I was going to say, wow, I didn't know that.
I did a bunch of those. But eventually we're going to get our store up and going. I got another company they put me in charge in that's going to start taking over the merchandising. I got to get that up and going. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know. After podcast stuff, what you talking about, Seekers? Let's take this begging discussion to the group about what people are going to give and what they're going to get out of us. It sounds like we're now paid monkeys.
Right.
I don't want to do tricks.
I don't want to do
I'd
tricks.
rather just say, listen, if you want to give us some money, give us some money. I don't know about rewards.
You know what this leads to, don't you?
You know what
this
other
leads to
podcasts do?
emails going, hey, man, if you say this on the podcast, I'll float you a 10 spot on Patreon.
That's just
yeah, I'm
that's
not
my
into
point.
that.
Other
I'm not into
podcasts,
that.
you know what they give away? They give away access to like a Facebook group where you can have access to the host, or they give away the ability to be in the chat during their live stream.
Get the fuck
Or
out of here. We give that shit away for free.
That's what I'm saying. Every reward that people give away is stuff that we just already do.
Draven, I've been trying to throw my money at you for a long time. He has, to be honest.
Ever since you started stripping that one day. Anyway, let's go ahead and end the show. We're just going on and on. We'll take this discussion to the group and offline. Next week, we'll probably be back with the Nazi occult or something else, depending on how the group goes. I don't think the voting thing will be ready for next week. If we just start it now, it's going to take a while for everybody to get on and vote for what they want. So we'll discuss, as Scott says.
Yes.
We will discuss.
We will.
All right, so for Eric, I'm Everett. Thank you for listening to Surreal Talk this week and every week. We really appreciate it. Here's to several more weeks. And again, I want to apologize, too, for the slurry of bullshit content we've apparently been putting out the past couple weeks.
What did we do wrong?
Well, I'm not saying the bullshit content.
Okay, so
the marijuana show.
The marijuana
and
show sucked.
Hold on, the slightly off-topic shows, the fringe stuff like Nikola Tesla.
That was a good show.
I know, but people really want the weird. They really want the conspiracy. They don't want the fringe science so
they
much.
want the paranormal.
Which I get. We're going to go back to our roots with shit like we did today with Hollow Earth. Just the weird. And that's what you want. That's what you're going to get. You spoke. We listened. There it is. I'll leave it at that. We'll catch you guys next week. Oh, I broke it.
Shane Slick says he wants his shirt to say, join us this week on Surreal Talk where we go balls deep.
Hey, give it a minute. We're in the show. Let's try this again. See you guys next week.
Shit, I fucking totally forgot. Yeah, see you guys next week. This is Eric for Surreal Talk. I thought we were off the air. Are we off there now? What about now?
No, we're still on the air.
But we're off the podcast.
We're off the podcast.
Yeah, so.
Did you guys dig the show today? I think Scott said he likes this type of show.
I thought it was a good show today. It was
For a redo.
it was good.
I don't really remember a lot doing last time, which is kind of cool.
I don't remember
It's
it.
because of the marijuana show took that memory away from me.
Yeah, it did.
I used to remember, then we did marijuanas. I did 2 marijuanas, and now I don't remember
You
anything.
should have seen Everett at fucking Caesar's Palace. He injected 3 whole marijuanas right into his eye.
Right into my eye. It was crazy.
Anyway.
Hey, anybody who wants to beat me to it can start the poll on the group.
Oh, they can do polls too?
I think so. Fuck, I don't know.
Anybody can add an option, right?
Yeah.
If someone just posts it, anybody can add an option.
Yeah, I'll stick you. Save me the trouble.
There you go. Right. I don't think you get what we're trying to do here. You do your own research.
We're trying to do
Now we
less
want
work.
now we want you to not only pay us money, but also do our work on
I'm
the
taking applications for alternative Eric and Everett, so I'll give you my password to my Facebook account, and you can be me in the group.
Oh yeah, right. Oh fuck.
All right, I got that shit unplugged.
Well, that's what they do, and y'all already do.
You gotta appreciate Eric too, even though he's crazy. Come on, Scott. Scott likes to give you some shit.
Yeah,
You know
he does.
likes it.
I think he deserves a shirt.
Who?
Scott.
No, he's an asshole.
He better come up with a fucking spectacular meme, and I'll pay for the shipping for his shirt if he can come up with a good meme.
All right, let me get my shit unplugged here. What time is it?
It is
4:44.
4:45. What time is
I
it?
gotta go pick up my kids.
Oh, we've been on an hour and 38. Damn. All right. Well, have you turned this off yet? Are we still on?
We're still live, yeah.
Oh, well, fuck. I'm going to keep talking until you turn it off.
All right, well, you do that.
I mean, I like these people.
Yep.
I like your mustache. Fucking Himmler.
Dennis Leary is one of the most quotable. I don't care, even to
If
this
Hitler
day.
had coke, there'd be Jews in the bathroom going, I know you didn't do it. I like your mustache. Fucking Himmler.
All right, we'll see y'all next week and in the group and yada, yada, yada. See you there.
Thank you, guys.